So in the month of May, we just generated a brand new partner over $360,000 in revenue, okay, USD, which is about $550,000 Australian in my currency. And we generated him about $230,000 cash collected, so money in our pocket, okay, which is close to about $350,000 Australian, which is my currency. Okay, now we did all of that on our second month working together. Now the cool part is that before working with this partner, guess what his best month was? $71,000. And on this video, we're going to be doing a live interview with that partner so we can break down how we did it, what we did, where he was before and where he is now and where we are going to go and how we're actually going to get there. Now, typically, I wouldn't actually do an interview style like this on YouTube with one of our partners, but I just thought we should. Like at the end of the day, he's got 17,000 followers on Instagram. Before he had like 14,000. We did no marketing, no money on ads, no financing, not talking to rich people, right? And we took him from $71,000 cash collected to over $230,000 cash collected just on our second month working together. And we ended up doing over $550,000 in revenue Australian, which is again about $360,000 USD in revenue. But being said, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. Let's get into it. We are here with motherfucking Raystonheem.
What's going on, bro?
Please introduce yourself. What do you do? And shout out your business and stuff like that.
Hell yeah, bro. So basically, I run my own Ecom stores and I also run my own coaching program. Before basically working with Nathaniel, I was working with another sales team, but the issue is obviously there wasn't everyday training. The systems wasn't quite on point, and just the experience, right? Because obviously Nathaniel, he used to sell his own coaching program as well, so he kind of know the ins and out of the whole entire game. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so your best month was about $71,000, right?
Yeah, prior working, yes.
Yeah. And I guess not even I know this. How long did you have your offer before we actually started working on it?
We had an offer for around 5-6 months.
Okay. And your best
Yeah.
month in 6 months was 71 grand.
Yeah.
71 grand. And you obviously had your buddy, so the other sales agency that was on. I think I messaged you at this like a week before the start of April, right?
Yeah.
I messaged you. You're still working with this agency. What did you think when I messaged you? Because I essentially came in, I'm like, bro, I can make you so much fucking money. Did you believe me? Or did you think I was bullshitting?
Bro, so basically you sent me that you sent me a text first. You sent me a text. I saw it and I just didn't respond because like it was just like every other like sales guy trying to work with me. Then he followed up and then he sent a personalized Loom video. Plus, he also redid my whole entire type form completely free. So kind of like incentivized in a way. But then for what I was thinking like, okay, yo, like he actually like he's not like a bot, not like everyone else. Like, okay, if they don't reply, they just like fuck off. But yeah, me definitely put in a lot of work. And the video you made as well was like, I knew you were on your shit, bro. Not gonna lie, I knew you were on your shit. So you responded back, hopped on the call, and now we're here, bro.
Yeah, I know it's fucking crazy. We're about, not even halfway through June. We started working together officially at the start of April. We'll talk a lot about that a little bit more. But fast forward, May, we did about $230,000 USD cash collected, which is fucked. Um, give me your thoughts because obviously you had on your vision board $150,000. Right?
Yeah.
That was on your whiteboard. And at the start of, well, the end of April, I told you we're gonna hit $150,000. Did you think I was bullshitting you? Like, what are your thoughts?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I was kind of set on it because I believe that if I put in the equal amount of work, 100% it's possible. So that was definitely a goal. But at the first week of May, it was kind of a little bit slower.
Mhm.
Then I was like, bro, maybe we're not gonna hit the goal. But bro, we hit the goal in like 10 days later. Not even like the month wasn't even finished.
Yeah.
Crazy shit.
We hit $150,000 about like 2 or 3 days after we did the first event. Because we did $110,000 in a week. Like in 7 days, we did 110 grand, right?
Yeah.
And we closed off at 230. So we had our first goal, which was $150,000. We smashed that, and we're like, okay, let's do 200, right? That was our second goal. We had a couple of days left. We smashed that, and we almost did $250,000 for the month. A quarter million.
Well, the USD, bro.
USD. Like that's like $370,000 Australian, and we did about $550,000 in revenue in Australian dollars, which is fucking wild.
Yeah,
Um,
bro. And 19K followers on Instagram, by the way.
I know. And what I think when we started working together, this was a big thing that we did, and we'll kind of talk about this a little bit because there are people that are watching this and they want to grow the same way that you did, right? How many followers did you have when we started working together? Do you remember?
Yeah, I have 14K.
14,000 followers. So
Yeah,
71 grand like isn't even bad for that amount, you know.
yeah.
Um, YouTube, how many did you have?
3,000.
3,000, and you just started posting on YouTube at the time as well.
Yeah,
And since then, we changed everything. So I think within the first week, we came up with a content strategy, right? Pricing. This is a big thing. Do you remember how much you were charging before we started working together?
so I think like an average should be like 1K USD to 1.5. But basically, like we just didn't had the whole entire sales process was just not the best. Like in terms of really qualifying the lead, and there also wasn't that much conviction, right, on what the closest or sellers was even selling. But I think it's just in terms of conviction, like, and you just gain more confidence.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, we literally kept the entire, like the sales team that we used to do 230K was the exact same sales team, just one extra closer, right? So we essentially took a sales team that has never made more than even $100,000. And on our second month, we took that sales team to make $230,000, right? And as I told you, a big thing of why you weren't making the money that you wanted to make was probably because of your training,
Yeah,
right? Like your sales, I think your sales reps are getting trained once a week, right? That's not enough, right? Because think about all the objections and questions and fuck ups that happen every single day within your business, right? Let alone these individual sales reps when they get objections and they don't know how to handle it, they don't get the support, they just continue to fuck up every day,
yeah.
right? We increased a lot of statistics. So, do you know what our shop rate actually was this month? The one,
Or show rate.
yeah. Do you know our shop rate?
No, but I know it's pretty high.
It was 81%.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. And I say this because to a lot of people, saying shop rate is so high obviously doesn't mean a lot. But I mean, shop rate literally makes or breaks the business, right? That's how you make money. Your shop rate before working with us was about 50%, right? About industry average. The month that we started working together in April, we increased it to about 60%. And then May, we did 81%, right? A couple of the other things that we changed was we increased price. So this is something that as soon as I jumped on your offer, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? Like, why are you charging a couple $100 for a service that you're guaranteeing you're going to make 10K with, right? Like, did you have that conviction before we started working together? Like, how did you actually get that conviction to go from charging a couple hundred to even now $4,000?
obviously the results. Like, no, the results show for themselves, and it just goes to show that the price shouldn't really be the main issue. It's kind of like what the value you're providing.
Mhm,
So completely takes away the price, and you can solve the problem, and they'll pay any amount, bro.
mhm. Yeah, I totally agree. And that's why I came on. And I'm like, in sales, right? People think that the higher you increase your price, the less chances people have of buying it. That's not true, right? Because if your price was $5 and they couldn't see the value, then they still wouldn't buy it.
Yeah.
right? So if you were getting sales at 300, I already knew that we could get sales at 4, right? Or 3, because that's what we'll charge in April. And next month, we could probably even charge more when we do the next events, right? And I've
Yeah.
not even told you that yet, right? Because again, the value's there. You've got the guarantee, you've got the results, it's only going up. So we can just charge more and more and more because ultimately, the more you make people, the more you can charge, right? Um, so tell me a little bit about what you and how many times did you actually talk to your old agency guy, by the way? Because obviously we have our meetings every Monday or Tuesday. How often did you speak to him about your business specifically?
So about that is like, here's the thing. Like we started off kind of like we were like good friends. Like we were like best friends, for basically. So like we would call almost like every day, but it wouldn't really be our business. It's kind of like mindset and like perspective of life and stuff.
Mhm.
So, but in terms of like actually training, it was really rare. Maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah. And is that something that you feel has helped? I mean, because every Tuesday, every Tuesday, even if we can't jump on, I'll send you a video. Since
Yeah,
we started working together, has that actually helped?
90%, bro. It just keeps everything on track. Kind of let the whole entire team know what's happening, and
Mhm.
most importantly, like just keep me in the loop. You know?
Yeah. I remember
Yeah.
when we first spoke, you didn't know like 90% of the things that was actually happening inside of your business just because you
Ugh.
weren't kept in the loop.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, I mean, a big thing, right? Whenever we come onto offers, that's one of the most important things that we have is making sure that the offer owner is involved in the business that they have, so then they can actually have that conviction, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a big thing that allowed you to believe in the business more is that you could actually see everyone was genuinely working extremely hard to make your dreams come true, right?
Yeah.
And still we
Exactly,
are
bro.
today.
Yeah,
Um,
bro. I mean, it's crazy, dude.
so we changed strategies. Okay. So we started working together the first month, building month. Okay. We did $1,000 less than what your best month was before we came on, but every sales statistic was up. Close rate, show rate, price, average collection, it was all up. The one thing that was down was lead flow, right? It was literally down by half. Okay. So before the start of May, we had to think about, okay, what strategy can we do to actually make sure that we can do what we want to do? And we came up with the webinars. Okay. Now, this is something that we wouldn't typically do on a lot of other offers that we were on, but I just thought, I mean, there's no point doing the same thing if it's not getting us the result that we want.
Yeah.
Right. Now, you had done events and webinars before. What was your biggest webinar that you had ever had before working with us?
It was 120 people, and I made $1,000 from there.
That's crazy.
Not profit, but revenue.
That that's insane. And like so generally I'm flabbergasted because I didn't necessarily know that when we started. And I'm like, all right, let's smash it. And so our first event that we had was on the 18th of last month, right? We had 2,300 people register. And how many people showed?
We had over like we peaked at around 800 people, but average attendance was 750.
That alone is fucking insane. Like, how did it feel? Like, how did it really feel from Grayson's perspective, speaking in front of 800 people?
Well, to be quite honest with you, like it didn't feel like anything. It felt like I was speaking to like 10 people. It
Uh-huh.
was just like throughout the whole entire process of building up to the webinar, and the whole entire team was already like hyping me up, like telling how it was gonna go. So I just be myself. Like I don't let the nerves get to me. Like I don't understand what pressure is. You know, just gonna perform.
Pressure gets scared at Raystonheem.
Exactly, bro. Just gotta perform,
Of course. I mean, we were hyping you up. And I mean, we don't just throw you in the deep end. right? We didn't just throw you in. We made the deck. We showed you the deck. We gave you the deck. We jumped on a couple calls before it, right, to make sure that you were dialed, right? So we kind of just left no room for failure. And that's ultimately why it performed.
Yeah.
Do you know how many book calls that webinar got?
I think I had like over 80 something, 81.
It got about 86 book calls, which
Okay.
was actually above 10% of the audience that we had, which is actually pretty good for the first event. So we had about 700 people at the end, 86 people booked a call. On that webinar, we pitched it at $4,000. Now, this was the first time that we had ever done that, by the way, right? Because before that, we were charging 3,000. So again, it just goes to show that we increased price by 1,000 and we were piffing, right? So many people. We made on the day about $18,000, which literally broke our best day ever, right? Just on the first day. The second day. Do you remember what our second day was?
It's like 36, right?
It was 36,000 USD cash collected.
Yeah.
Second day.
Yeah.
That's like almost half of your best month in one day,
Yeah, no, that's crazy.
right? Like, do you have buddies and friends and other people in your life that when you spoke to them about this, like what did they say?
They just say it's cap, bro. Like, just don't believe me, bro. And like, I don't blame them either, bro. Like, I don't blame them either because they wouldn't really understand like the whole business side of things, and
Hmm.
it's no point, bro. It's no point talking to like people who don't do business about your achievements. Then it just sound like you're bragging.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't
So
really look at
we
it.
crushed it. We did it. We absolutely smashed it. $36,000. And obviously, as I mentioned, it was going to slow down, right? So we had the first event 18th of May. That then lasted to about the 23rd, and then it kind of started to die down, right? But we think two steps ahead. So we came up with within the same strategy, a second event, a follow-up event, right? So that was the 25th. Do you know how many people we had show up to that event?
Yeah, I think we had around like average 400 people, like 350, 60 around there.
Yeah. And we booked in, I think, about 36 calls from that
Yeah,
event.
yeah, 30, 31, yeah.
31, which was still like, that's insane for a follow-up event.
Yeah.
And then from the 25th till the end of the month, I think we did about $60,000 like extra, which is like fucking insane, right?
Yeah, it is.
What are your takeaways from the month? Like, because obviously you had the goal of 150K, we then broke that, we then hit 200K. What's the goal now?
The goal now is definitely like just kind of find like longevity and shit. Obviously, like the webinars are good, 100% if we found something that works. But I think now it's more so of like the lead flow. It's gonna
Mhm.
go more viral, focus on content. But at the end of the day, it's quality over quantity. You're just gonna get if you have like leads who are of quality,
Mhm.
it's better than like people who have over like a quarter million followers on Instagram and shit. Because I
Yeah,
I only have like combined all my socials, I got 100K combined. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, 100,000 followers. And it's like, I definitely make way more than people who have like millions of followers. Millions of followers. So at the end of the day, it's never about the quantity, but the quality and the whole entire system. And just basically automating everything so you can focus on bringing people into the business.
mhm.
Basically, don't work in the business, work on the business.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you were doing. You were working like pretty in the business, you know.
Yeah.
Like a big thing that we changed, you were a little bit against this at first because obviously you didn't see the vision, but with the content side of things, right? You were posting a lot of the typical content that, you'll find the typical ecom person post, right? Music, motivation, inspiration, and it gets views, which is why people do it, right? But we came in and we're like, okay, what's one thing that we can do right now to just get way better leads? It was changing the content. So we changed it and we started to provide valuable content, like actual valuable. right? And the lead quality, like it just increased significantly,
Yeah.
right? Like we went from talking to the majority of broke young Singaporean people to older people that have kids and families that needed to make money, which ultimately led that they had more money because they had a job for a longer period of time,
Yeah.
right? So that was just one of the things that we essentially changed, right? So what is one thing that you could give like a piece of advice that you could give someone that was in your shoes, 2 months ago, where you're working in the business, you had a team, but they weren't performing, to hit your goals, right? You knew that you could accomplish all these things. What was one thing now that you would give to them as advice to help them achieve their goals?
I think the number one thing that came out of my mind is in order to move 2 steps forward, you gotta take a step back. So that's what we did. The building one took a step back, reanalyze, reevaluate, change the systems, change the automation, change the sales team, and then in order to take 2 steps forward, the next one was what happened.
Yeah.
So definitely gotta just like take a step back and like analyze what the fuck is going on and what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah, you were a little bit scared, right? Like, there was just so much happening. I don't know if you were scared, but you were a little bit like, I guess uncertain could be a good word. Like, there was so
I
much.
was uncomfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, right?
But then that's the beauty of it, bro. You got to put yourself in uncomfortable positions because that's how you grow.
Why do you feel like it was uncomfortable? Do you think it was because I was saying a bunch of things that you had never done before, or what? Why do you think you're uncomfortable?
It was because like I wasn't used to it. I was so used to doing the regular stuff that when there was a whole entire new content strategy, I had to post every day on my story. I had to post stuff going on my Discord. Had to like do all that stuff. Like we're just like wasn't used to it. But like once you understand the game, it's pretty easy, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Like if your current day today looks like how it did 6 months ago and there's not been real big change, then that just shows you that you are too comfortable and that getting uncomfortable is completely necessary. Right? Could you
Hundred
agree?
percent. No, 100%, bro. 100%, bro. Like even now, bro. Like every time, like I try to put myself in like uncomfortable positions and stuff like that. Sounds
We
kind
aren't
of wrong, bro. But yeah,
we aren't fucking done, brother. Like we want to obviously, so one big thing that we're kind of focused on at the moment is obviously that consistency. That's something that we're trying to focus on. What's a number that you want to consistently hit? And I don't even know this. Like, give me a number that you're like, okay, that's what I want to hit minimum like every month.
um, like prof. I mean, I'll talk SGD though, because I mean SGD. But
Yep.
like realistically, like consistently every single month, like because I make money on my ecom stores as well, and
Mhm.
if I add it all up, 100K SGD profit, including my ecom stores. So my ecom stores are making like 30, 40K SGD profit a month.
Mhm.
So like the offer only needs to do 60K and like it's like easy, bro. That's easy, bro. So like yeah, like about at least 6 figures profit a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
That's
that's fucking easy, bro.
oh, that's a piece of piss. We're probably going to do that this month. And this was again
Yeah,
another building month. You
yeah,
know,
exactly.
we've got the event on the Sunday coming up, which by the way, I just don't think people fucking understand. This guy has 18, like about 18,000 followers, no marketing, no financing, no paid ads at the moment, right? We are not selling to rich people, but already for the event that we have in 2 days, we have about 800 people already, right? And we haven't even pushed this out as much as what we did last month either. Like the content strategy hasn't been 100% pushing it. The emails haven't. Like we've not pushed this out heavy because we've been building. And this motherfucker has over 800 people registered for the event. That's insane, brother. Like,
Yeah,
like,
not too bad.
like I know that people will come on here and they'll love to flex the money. Like a lot of people in my perspective, like, okay, yeah, we just did 230K. That was a piece of piss. Like all this is fucking easy. But I want to take a minute and literally say, like, this, you're 18 years old, right? 18 years old, 2 months in, the amount of work that you have put in is insane. with the amount of work that everyone else has put in, that's why we've achieved results that people can't even fathom. So first of all, I want to just say I'm honestly super proud of you. And just like
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
said
bro.
that before. But I mean it. Like I really do. Because the money that you're making now and the money that the business is making and just everything that we're doing now, it's not even the start. But yeah, it's something that's so incredible. So you should definitely give yourself a pat on the back because it's definitely something that I'll be proud of.
Oh
Um,
yeah, bro. I mean, yeah, bro. Like, I appreciate you, bro. But at the end of the day, it's just like everyone has to be putting the equal amount of efforts in. Someone can't be putting in 100%, and then you're putting in 50%. Then it's not gonna work. So definitely, like, if you wanna achieve the numbers, if you wanna make the money, you're gonna put in more work or the equal amount of work.
Yeah. Yeah. So look, I don't want to hold you here too much longer. Do you have anything, by the way, that you want to say to anyone just before you go? Any quotes, any motivation, any inspiration? Let just off the top of your dome, if you have any.
um, Listen, bro. If you are selling an offer, if you have a coaching program, a course, a community, and you need to scale that shit. Listen, the Dynamics team, they got you right. They would not disappoint you. Unlike other people, they're actually working in the business for you, so it gives you more time to work on content and bring people in, and just give them the leads. Give them the leads, the money will come in. That's all I'm gonna say.
Damn, bro. That wasn't scripted, by the way. I did not expect that, but I actually do appreciate that a ton. But look, I won't keep you here much longer, brother. It's been super good fucking talking to you. And I hope that you have been able to inspire many more people today than what you normally do already. And let's get that 250K next month. Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro. Let's get it, bro.
All right, brother. Peace out.
Peace out, bro.
So I hope you did enjoy this video. It's a little bit different to my other ones. Normally it's me just kind of rambling on talking about how you can make a lot of money, but I want to actually get one of our partners on here and express and show you their perspective, right? Their perspective being the partner, their perspective, working with us, right? And I didn't just want to come on here and kind of flex and ask only questions about Dynamis revenue. I really tried to not really mention Dynamis revenue as much in that, just because I know typically with these testimony videos, it's super cringe. There's like no value for you. So there's like no point in you watching it, but I actually just wanted to give value and try and help you guys as much as we possibly could. Okay, so look, I really did hope that you enjoyed the video. I've got another video on this YouTube channel that I posted on the Monday before this one, and it is a full breakdown of his offer and how we did $550,000 Australian. I break it down step by step. It's a 50-minute video. Everything that I showed in here, it's got in there. Feel free to watch it. And like you mentioned, right, if you do have an info product and you want to scale, you want to make more money, you want a team behind you that has not just done it for one person, but another and another. Our portfolio does about $50 million a year in revenue for our partners, and we are the best. And if you want to work with the best, there is an application form down below, right? Fill it out and we'll reach back out to you if you're a good fit, or just message me over on Instagram and we can have a conversation there. Okay, so look, I really do hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.